మిత్రులారా బంధువులారా వనక్కము స్వాగతము to Dr. J. Reddy Education Channel. This is the UPSC exam mentoring or help series I have posted, and I want here essentially share my passion and 4 decades of extensive studies of Indology Bharat Mata studies in this knowledge so that that will be helpful for you in tackling the Union Public Service exams as well as the State Public Service Commission examinations. All these presentations will be put in a unique form, what I call it iconographic representation of abstract concepts into maps, pictures, images, so that these things will be very easily imprinted in your mind, Mastiska. Today we are in part 6 of this series. That is, the title of the presentation is, we are talking about the Mughal history, medieval history, and Babar. A overview of Babar, his life, certain socio-political concepts of that time, and his invasion. After this presentation, you will get a deeper and broader perspective of Babar, bird's eye view, and before I terminate that, I will also let you know how to put this particular knowledge, how you can leverage it in the examination perspective also about the Babar invasion bird's eye view. This is the series presentation overview. Always I'll be showing this overview so that you can choose a particular topic of your liking and go to that directly. We are talking about Mughal history here, number 6, Babar bird's eye view. Next we'll be looking about next 4 or 5 centric and Babar. All these presentations I have put them for your perusal, and South Asia maps JReady more than 950 organized into 95 playlists. You can pick and choose. This particular presentation you should look at UPSC playlist. Here I put UPSC exam help 01. As the numbers increase, I will make it 02, 03 like that, so that's easy for you. Babar was born in a region called Fergana Valley, that is in Central Asia. Now that Fergana Valley is divided among Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. He was born in a place called Andij, an eastern part of Fergana Valley, established the Mughal dynasty and found an empire at Agra. So is the Fergana here, and Uzbeks, his adversaries who ousted him from this Fergana Valley, and this is the Turan region. Turania means Turkish people live there. And Kabul Emirate and Kandahar, his initial small kingdom Emirate. Then Lahore Suba, Delhi Suba, Agra Suba, and Ganga Maidan broadly. I will expand this and talk about each topic little more detail, and so that you can use this information and gain a broader understanding of Babar. Babar means in Chaghatai Turkic language a panther or a cheetah, a type of lion. So his father, there is a rulers called Timurids. They were descendants of Timur. Timur himself invaded Bharat around about 1400. Remember, 100 years later, his descendant, 4th or 5th generation, invaded, giving 20, 25 years each generation. Babar invaded, at Battle of Panipat, he was successful. So there are a lot of his descendants. There are so many of them contested very small region. They're all called Timurids. Their major headquarters or cultural center was Samarkand town, major urban center on Jarafshan River. One among those Timurids means princess. Everybody is a prince. They married legal four wives and unofficial many wives. All are Timurids. They are competing. One among them is Umar Shaikh Mirza. He passed away 1794. Sorry, 1494. Babur was born in 87, means when Babar was around about 7 years or so, he passed away. His father, Umar Shaikh Mirza, is a small emir, and Babur has to struggle with other rising powers. They are called Uzbeks. They are also Turkish people. They spoke a language now is called Uzbeki. Is a type of Turkish language, and Karluk Turkish language, similar to archaic now old Chaghatai Turkish. That Timurid's language, Babur's language. And Babur means lion, was born in 1483, and died away 30. Very easy to remember. So he lived around about 50 years, if you can say, and his 30 means here, then you take away 20 years means should be 80, because it's a 3 here, put 3, 1483, 1530. Very easy to remember. And Timurid married yet one of the female members of the Chengiz Khan. They are called Gūrkāni. Gūrkāni means a local language means son-in-law, because the Mongols and Chengiz Khan were very popular, very powerful at that region. So they took advantage of that name, Gūrkāni. So Mughals are also called Gūrkānis. That Gūrkāni is spelled similar to Gurkhas, a type of a valiant people like Rajputs of Nepal. So they are that's very different, but the spelling and pronunciations are similar. So to make the point, so Mongols were the like Chengiz Khan type of 1200. He rise of Chengiz Khan, and later they were Turkified, and later they were Persianized also, and Islamized also, Mongols. So that name is later changed into Mughal in many Gūrkān. That means son-in-law. I put. These are the Turkic people. Babar, Timurids are Turkic people. And even though they are Turkic ethnically, they are Persianized Turks. The Persian language, literature, culture, their names are the time entire Persia was also Islamized. So they're Persianized people. So they established a Turco-Persian society wherever they lived. Today, across the Red Cliff Line, Pakistan, that is representative, takes pride in that their language, culture, everything, which is also very hostile to their native language, cultures, and parent body. These are the Persianized Turks. What is a gunpowder empire? So, gunpowder empire is a concept around about 1500. Three empires. These are all Mumini empires, Islamic empires like Ottomans and Safavids in Persia, excuse me, Mughals in Bharat. These are gunpowder empire, means their initial success establishment of their dynasties is due to use of modern gunpowder that was developed long before in China also, and also Europe. Even South India in Battle of Raichur, Krishnadevaraya used that extensively against Adil Shahi Sultans. But in North India, that was not available at that time because the outdated systems and Rajputs didn't pay much attention. Babur brought that advantage, and he was able to bring the Firangis, Topias, and canons, and so he was successful. That's one reason. Gunpowder empires, 3. Chaghatai Turkic language. Turkic language is the Altaic language, and there are many Turkic languages: Kipchak and Karluk and Urgus Turkish, and Turkish, Ottomani Turkish, and Tatari language, and Uyghur Musalmans Western in Xinjiang province, Uzbek Turkoman, and Kyrgyz and Kazakh. These are all Turkish languages. And at that time, the prominent language of the elite was Chagatai Turkic language. Chagatai was one of the descendants of Chengiz Khan, the named that area Chagatai Turkic language. Persian LinguaFranca. LinguaFranca means a common, when there are many languages spoken, one particular language is used as administrative purpose or literary purpose and so on. Lingua franca of that region, Khorasan and Central Asia, Transaxania, between Amur River and Sirdaria River is called Transaxania. Persian was the lingua franca of that region. So these people were highly Persianized. The Timur people, Timurids were Persianized people. They followed Persianate culture. And after Islamization of Persia, Islam was imposed on Persia. A lot of things brought in. Even the language kept, but script, everything changes. So we have to keep that Persianate culture. Nowruz is like a celebration. Mughals used to celebrate Nowruz with great pomp and show. That is not a Islamic festival from Arabia. That is a Persian festival actually. Fergana Valley is the native place of Timurid Princess Babar. That is the Osh and Jalalabad and Kanduz and Andijan and all these towns. Province is a oasis in a desert surrounded by mountains. Fergana Valley that today divided between Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan doesn't have a share in it because they are far west. Timurid rulers of Fergan, there were many, and his father is one among them. That is Umar Shaikh Mirza we talked about. Muhammad Shaybani Khan is a Uzbek Sardar leader adversary of Timurids. He established Shaybanid dynasty. He deceased that he was killed around about 1510. That means Babar outlived him 20 years. But at the time, Timurid princes were worsted from Central Asia. So that is the things you have to keep in mind. Babar, he lost and gained Fergana, Samarkand, Bukhara and Samarkand. Bukhara is in the western side, Samarkand in the central, Tashkent is northern part. These are on the Jawarshan river that comes from the mountain region. So he was the Amir. Amir is like a small ruler, Sultan, Nawab, things like that, of Samarkand from 96 to 97. And I have not given the exact detail, that is also doesn't matter. I don't want to confuse you putting so many years relevant. And he was finally overthrown 1504 and came to Kabul, was lucky enough to establish a small emirate. How to remember 1504? Remember, we are talking about 1500, right? Means fire. Take away one, that is for 1504, where he found a kingdom in Kabul. And major battle of Sarai-Pul, that is the Turanian part of Afghanistan, Sarai-Pul province near Mazari Sharif, and that's the after which Shaybanis start rising a major political power in Central Asia. Emir of Kabul. So remember, Battle of Panipat was fought in 26, right? If we add 4, that becomes 30. 30 means that is the year Babar passed away, 1530. So you can very easily remember here how many years he was the Emir of Kabul. After capturing the Kabul, it was not very rich region. It's a low carrying capacity, means doesn't collect much tax, is not highly food producing region. Those type of things you have to keep in mind. Just an Amir of a very small kingdom, because he has an advantage of this gunpowder, topias, Firangis, artillery, with which he decimated the major contender, Rana Sangha. That's again, the Rajputs were very great warriors of Bharat, but they followed outdated warfares at the time. They were not studying and going what is happening their surroundings. That was also one main reason. He has many wives, important ones, Mahan Begum, Gurluk Begum, and Dildar Begum. I will talk about them extensively later, just mentioning. He has a son, survived sons are Humayun, Kamran, Askari, and Hindan. His daughter, there are many daughters, Gul.Chera, Gul.Badan, and I have mentioned Gul.Badan here. She survived almost 80 years. She was around about 6 or 7 when father passed away. She passed away at almost a few months before Akbar. That is the grandson of Babar in 1605. He passed away, I think, Gul.Badan, and also wrote Humayun Nama, like this I mentioned. So legacy. Uh, this is the occupation of Kabul. This is 26 is the Panipat battle. Actually, 27 is much more critical than battle. Real battle where Babur found an empire is not the Panipat, but Khanwa with Rajputs, where he won. 1605, his grandson passed away, 1705. Akbar's great grandson Aurangzeb passed away, 1761. Panipat, 1857. Last Mughal nominal ruler deposed and sent to Burma. Mughal imperialism in Bharat, 1526 to 1857. Having that broader idea about, you can use that, leverage it in many aspects in the examination. And here I'll give you a few hints. Babar, 1504 to 30, then 1761 Panipat, then 1857 Sipai Mutiny. So Mughal disintegration. Later Mughals disintegrated because the British has a very fortified ideology of British imperialism, and also ammunition wise they were very powerful compared to Mughals. Mughals has a better ammunition compared to Rajputs. That's why they were successful. In that sense, Babur success, later Mughal disintegration. And Mughal disintegration and rise of British imperialism. Today's Radcliffe Line and almost goes to initial Babur Emirate of Kabul. That's the Durand line and the Radcliffe line. That area is the Sarhad. Babur as a Emir of Kabul used to ride like Bajar and Banu, Hangu and Kohat and all those areas, Kandar, and that's also Sarhad region and partition from the Punjab province by British Punjab, Sarhad separation 1905. All those correlated. And Russian invasion, Russians crossed the Amudari River and occupied Afghanistan. Later, Americans also did it. All these things we can somehow correlate with, broadly put it in the Babur overall his 47 years of legacy. So, if you look at this map, you can very easily, you should be able to conceptualize. When you look at that, there are different ways to look at this map. The way I look at this now, with our presentation respect is like this, we will follow. So, this is the Tibetan Plateau. Karakoram Mountains. For me, not. Karakorams and Himalayas, Kunluns. Tarim Basin. So, this is the Jefferson River. So this is the Fergana. Babar, Andijan will be somewhere here. Kyrgyzstan, Lake Ishak. Central Asia, this is the Amu River, Sir River. Tashkent and Samarkand, Bukhara will be here. So here this is the river and on the bank of the river. The river itself is the tributary of Amu River. So around about 1500 gunpowder empires, Ottomans here. Ottoman Sultan. That is a very big empire for many years, nearly 500 years or so, dismembered World War I time. Then Safavids, these are Shiite empire. They have the rivals in Mughals, rivals in Ottomans, rising rivals in Uzbeks. Uzbeks also Sunni Muslims. Persia, Shiite empire, Ismail was the Shia Muslims, their rivals, gunpowder empire, Ottomans, Safavids and Uzbeks, Mughals. Emirate here. So this is the Hindu Kush Mountains. Then this is the Turania, northern part of Afghanistan, Amudarya River, Balamurgab here, Harirud River here. So Papa formed this is the valley. That's the valley of Kabul. Kabul basin is not a valley. Kabul basin here actually. Bagram here. This is the Jalalabad basin. This is the Peshawar basin. This is the Potwar, this is the Gangetic plain. So, for 24 to 1504 to nearly 26, he was raiding surroundings as a not a big success, and the Shaybanis were very powerful here, and he cannot compete with the Safavids. So after these kingdoms were weak, and they were also raiding there, and they were also want Babur to come and defeat the major force so that later they can establish. Babur invaded, finally crossed all these doors and finally established, and this is the Yamuna River. At Panipat, he is able to defeat in the Kurukshetra plains, Panipat, that's the historic Karnal district, defeated Lodis. Panipat, Lodis, Baba. Is the Chambal River. In Rajputana, that's the Bharatpur district's Macha province, historic province, he was able to face and defeat at Kanwa. Kanwa is away from Agra, Sikindra, and Kanwa, near Bayana region of Bharatpur. He defeated Sangha. That was the major victory. Then he defeated Medni Rai. And this is the Betwa river. You can see Jhansi is here, Betwa. There's the Chanderi fort, very prominent fort. And later, he also defeated Afghans at Gagra, Battle of Gagra here. This is the Ganga river, this is the Gagra river. That's also called, this is the Gagra river. This is the Sarayu river, Gagra river. This is the Gandak river. Sarayu or Gagra, that is the Balia, those regions, Balia and Gajipur and across the Buxar, those regions. He defeated Afghans and established a empire in the Gangetic plains that lived tenuously, later overthrown by Surs, his son, and later went and exiled to Persia, later able to again conquered Kabul, lived for a lot of years, Humayun, finally able to conquer Agra at Battle of Sirhind. Later, his son Akbar established under the generalship of Bairam Khan, Battle of Panipat 3, 2, defeating the Hemu, which were the visual ruler of North India at that time. So that is in brief about Babur. Mughal invader established Mughaliya, Darul Islamiyya in Bharat and Kawatul Islamiyya in Bharat, and his life and important concepts. Next, we will look at the Babur, his contemporaries. Most of the time in the history, we look only at the person, but what is happening surrounding his kingdoms in the country, even outside the empire and Bharat, how they influence or being influenced by this, and that aspects, it will give you a broader, deeper understanding of even remembering their reign, Sashan Kal, and important prominent personalities. We look at it. Hope this presentation will be helpful to you. And if you have any comments or questions, you can post. Your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy, South Asia Maps, J. Reddy Education Channel.